Many people believe that cheating only begins when two bodies touch, when something physically intimate happens, or when there is clear evidence that cannot be denied. But the truth in psychology reveals something far more painful. Most relationships break not because someone kissed or slept with another person, but because betrayal starts with small, seemingly harmless actions that grow unnoticed. These actions are disguised as friendship, colleague conversations, old connections, or just talking. Infidelity today is not like it was 20 or 30 years ago. It is subtler, easier to hide, easier to justify, and much more likely to grow through countless communication channels. Social media, private messaging apps, work chats, secret group conversations. You might be sleeping peacefully next to the person you love, while they spend night after night giving their emotional energy to someone else. No touching, no meeting, no obvious wrongdoing. Yet the intimacy has already left the relationship, and that alone is a form of betrayal. Imagine this. You see your partner's phone light up at 1 a.m. It's not work. It's not family. It's not something neutral. It's a long message from someone you've never heard of. Your partner reacts quickly, hides the screen, locks the phone, and says, "It's nothing." But your intuition tells you otherwise. That instinct isn't irrational jealousy. It's a psychological reaction to a boundary being crossed. This moment marks the beginning of emotional betrayal, a type of infidelity far more destructive than physical cheating, because it steals something deeper: emotional intimacy. A relationship doesn't crumble the moment someone has a physical affair. It begins to fracture when a person redirects their emotional energy towards someone else. When they smile differently at their phone. When they feel excited or anxious waiting for a reply from someone who isn't you. When they pour their vulnerabilities, frustrations, hopes, and secrets into conversations with another person instead of sharing them with you. When they say, "She understands me more than you do," or "It's easier to talk to him than to talk to you." From a psychological standpoint, this is a dangerous shift, because the emotional bond that once belonged to the relationship is being slowly transferred elsewhere. And when the heart leaves, the body often follows shortly after. The frightening part is that people rarely realize they're cheating emotionally. They tell themselves harmless stories like, "We only talk about work. We've been friends forever. He just needed someone to talk to. She's going through a tough time." But beneath these excuses is an undeniable truth. They are enjoying the emotional connection, the validation, the comfort, or the attention that this other person provides. This isn't because that other person is better, but because the novelty of a new emotional bond creates dopamine spikes, and the brain becomes addicted to that feeling. There is also another kind of cheating, one almost never called by its true name but extremely common today: fantasy infidelity. Someone spends hours watching every story a certain person posts, likes every photo, reads every comment, imagines possibilities, rehearses conversations in their mind, or secretly follows the person's life online. They feed their desire silently, letting their imagination build a relationship that doesn't exist physically, but occupies real emotional space. No touching, no flirting, no obvious wrongdoing. Yet this is still betrayal because emotional energy is finite. If someone is mentally investing in another person, then they cannot fully invest in you. Some people maintain connections with ex-partners, old crushes, or people they know are attracted to them. They reassure themselves with lies like, "It's nothing. We're just being friendly. We're just catching up." But deep inside, they know they're keeping a door slightly open. They know the attention feels good. They know this connection is something they don't want their partner to see. The moment someone begins deleting messages, hiding notifications, renaming contacts, or shifting their behavior whenever that person appears, betrayal has already begun. Cheating does not require physical intimacy. Cheating starts at the moment secrets begin. Another form of betrayal is comparison. When your partner repeatedly mentions someone else, an ex, a coworker, a friend, as a standard you fail to meet, your heart gets cut slowly and repeatedly. That other person becomes a mental benchmark. When your partner imagines how that person would handle things better, they are, in their mind, choosing someone else over you. This is emotional abandonment disguised as just an observation. It hurts not because you are inadequate, but because your partner is idealizing someone else. There are also people who cheat not because they lack love but because they lack character. They may genuinely love their partner but still betray them. Not because the relationship is bad, but because they crave validation, excitement, attention, or ego boosts. They cheat because someone else's admiration feels thrilling. They cheat because they have poor self-control, weak boundaries, and a personality more prone to impulsive behavior. Psychology shows that personality traits predict cheating more accurately than relationship satisfaction. A person who is easily bored, loves risk, or avoids emotional responsibility is much more likely to cheat, even if they deeply love their partner. Others cheat financially. They hide purchases, open secret credit cards, conceal debt, spend large amounts without mentioning it. This may not sound like infidelity, but in the emotional sense, it absolutely is. Money in a relationship symbolizes trust, future planning, and teamwork. When one partner hides financial actions, they break the foundation of transparency. They create a private world where the other partner is excluded. A form of betrayal that destroys stability as effectively as emotional or physical cheating. Then there is betrayal through opportunity. Some people don't actively pursue an affair but repeatedly place themselves in tempting situations. Late-night drinking with someone they're attracted to, private conversations in risky settings, meeting someone one-on-one while telling themselves it's just friendly. They don't establish boundaries, don't say no, don't avoid danger. They claim I won't do anything wrong. But psychology shows that people consistently overestimate their ability to resist temptation. All it takes is the right person at the right moment, when stress is high and self-control is low, for a line to be crossed. And here is a bitter truth. Many who cheat were not unhappy beforehand. Studies show that a significant number of cheating individuals describe their relationship as good or even great. They don't cheat because something is wrong at home. They cheat because something is wrong within themselves. Character, not circumstances, is the core factor. Still, some people learn after betraying. They grow, they reflect, they heal, they rebuild their morals. But statistically, they are the minority. Most people who cheat once are much more likely to cheat again. This is not destiny, it's psychology. Once a person crosses a moral boundary, the mental barrier becomes weaker. They've learned how to justify their behavior. They've learned how to hide it. They've learned how to silence their guilt. And that makes repeating the behavior easier. So what counts as cheating? The answer varies between couples, but the core principle is simple. If it must be hidden, it is already wrong. If you would be hurt knowing your partner did it, then your partner doing it in secret is betrayal. Many couples never define boundaries until after they are broken. But cheating doesn't begin at the act. It begins at the secret. After betrayal, the hardest part is not forgiveness. It is living with the psychological aftermath. The betrayed partner often experiences symptoms similar to trauma. Sleepless nights, hypervigilance, sudden fear, intrusive thoughts, difficulty trusting, emotional numbness. Their brain enters survival mode. They begin to look for threats everywhere. Even if they want to trust again, their nervous system fights against it. The relationship they had before is gone forever. What remains is a new relationship built on the ruins of the old one. Healing is possible, but only if the person who betrayed is genuinely committed to change. Not with excuses, not with blaming stress, not with it just happened, not with half-hearted apologies. True healing requires full responsibility, transparency, consistency, and vulnerability. They must be willing to answer hard questions. They must be willing to open their phone, remove temptations, reconnect emotionally, rebuild routines, and prove through actions, not words, that they choose their partner every day. If they refuse to inconvenience themselves for the sake of rebuilding trust, they are not ready to heal anything. Modern cheating is more dangerous because online connections create endless opportunities. Ex-lovers stay connected. Old crushes linger. Strangers become emotionally intimate in chat rooms. Dating apps are always one swipe away. Even casual likes and emojis can turn into deep emotional bonds if boundaries are not set. This is why clarity is essential. Boundaries are not about control, they are about protecting love. If you feel something is wrong, trust yourself. When you love someone, you learn their rhythms, their silence, their energy, their habits. Your intuition picks up small changes, the tone of their voice, the way they text, how fast they respond, how they smile, how they hide their phone. Intuition is not paranoia. It is data your brain collects before your mind understands. And if you are the one standing on the edge of cheating, or already crossed the line, then face the truth. You know exactly what you are doing. You know your messages have meaning. You know the attention feels good for the wrong reasons. You know you would not want your partner to see the conversations you're having. You know the lies. You know the secrecy. You know the danger. And you know the damage you can cause. Stopping now is the only way to keep from losing someone who loves you. Loyalty is not the absence of attraction. Loyalty is the choice to not nurture that attraction. Everyone feels tempted at times. Everyone meets someone charming. Everyone craves validation sometimes. But the difference between faithful and unfaithful people is simple. Faithful people choose discipline over impulse. They choose their relationship over temptation. They choose honesty over secrecy. Trust is built drop by drop, through small acts of transparency, consistency, and emotional integrity. But it can be lost all at once. And even when trust is rebuilt, it never returns in its original form. Love after betrayal is like a healed bone. It works, but the scar is always there. Cheating in the end is not about sex. It is about character. A person with integrity does not betray, even when lonely, even when tempted, even when opportunity presents itself. A person who values love protects it. A person who honors commitment keeps their heart and their choices aligned. Loyalty is not an accident. It is a daily decision, and it reveals who you truly are.